Imagine a world where global superpowers are at odds and the fate of nations hangs in the balance. This is the harsh reality we face today as the Russian Federation's aggressive actions threaten the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine, posing a significant threat to the national security and foreign policy of the United States. But here's where it gets controversial. In response to these actions, the U.S. government has taken drastic measures to protect its interests and those of its allies. The question is, are these measures enough, or do they go too far? To understand the complexity of this issue, let's delve into the details of the U.S. government's response, as outlined in a recent executive order. By the authority vested in the President by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, including the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA, the National Emergencies Act, and other relevant statutes, the President has determined that the actions of the Russian Federation constitute an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security and foreign policy of the United States. This threat is not only a matter of national security, but also has significant implications for the global economy. To address this threat, the U.S. government has imposed various sanctions and restrictions on the Russian Federation, including the prohibition of certain imports and new investments. However, the situation has taken a new turn with the discovery that certain countries, including India, are directly or indirectly importing Russian Federation oil. This has led to the imposition of additional tariffs on imports from these countries. But what does this mean for the global economy, and how will it affect international relations? The executive order outlines the scope of these tariffs, including the rate of duty, the effective date, and the exceptions. It also provides for the modification of these tariffs based on various factors, including the actions of the Russian Federation and the response of other countries. The order also delegates authority to various government agencies to implement and enforce these measures. And as we navigate this complex web of international relations and economic sanctions, it's essential to consider the potential consequences of these actions. Will they achieve their intended goal of deterring the Russian Federation's aggressive behavior, or will they lead to unintended consequences such as retaliation or economic instability? And this is the part most people miss: the impact of these measures on the global economy and the potential for long-term consequences. The U.S. government's response to the Russian Federation's actions is a prime example of the delicate balance between national security, foreign policy, and economic interests. As we move forward, it's crucial to consider the potential risks and benefits of these measures and to engage in open and honest dialogue about the implications of these actions. So we ask you, do you think the U.S. government's response to the Russian Federation's actions is justified? Or do you believe it goes too far? Share your thoughts in the comments below. In conclusion, the U.S. government's response to the Russian Federation's aggressive actions is a complex and multifaceted issue with significant implications for national security, foreign policy, and the global economy. As we continue to navigate this challenging landscape, it's essential to stay informed, engage in open dialogue, and consider the potential consequences of our actions. The fate of nations may depend on it.